Hello and welcome back to my channel, Checks, Captures, Threats, and today is game 3 of the rapid increase. So it's 16:29, so let's go for another 10-minute game. So we are black here against a 16:25 from Indonesia. He plays e4, which means that we are again going to be playing the French defence. So, I'm going to reply with e6. Now expecting that, but now, this could be from the bird's opening technically, or this could be a king's gambit, but we haven't played this. We're going to carry on with this though. The e5 is a very strong move that happens a lot in a game like this. We still can carry on here, but he's going to capture, which is technically an exchanged French here, but this pawn adds a little bit of difference to it. So we're going to bring our knights out now. Remembering when we went over the exchange, how we tried to get that kind of, just trying to get everything out, almost copying them, but it's a little bit different in this scenario. Now we can play c5 here and then get the knight out, or we could play a pin here. And the issue with the pin is that it kind of forces a trade. So we could actually play instead this move here. This could put a little bit of threat, so I think that, or we wait and put that there later. I think we play c5 now, and soon we might play this so that we're able to castle freely. Also, what this move does is this kind of lets us get this bishop out nicely, and especially this knight without blocking a quite good central pawn. He's going to reply with c3, a good move. Now this gets our knight out. We don't want to waste too much time in the opening. So here is that. Now they're going to play bishop b5. So again, confused with white and black. So we could break this pin, or we could kind of initiate a swap off here. Now, I'll be honest, I would not mind if we traded these. But do I really, if I do this, we'd have to capture the queen. Is my queen in a suitable position? I still think it is. So we are going to play that. So after this capture, he could capture here, but our bishop captures. So all is well there. This knight can now come in, but again, not really worrying about that. Now, we can't play the bishop here because of this pin, so what we're going to do is we're just going to move the bishop here for now. I'm a little bit wary about this because we can't castle, so we might have to bring our queen back just to c7 for the minute, but he's going to bring the knight in. So what we could do here is there's a few things. I think we should probably play queen to b6, quite a classic move in the French as we've already played it before. So I think we go back here and we're actually looking all the way up to this pin, which might force a move like this. A little bit scared about this queen coming in, but as long as I get my bishop, I'll probably get it out a bit now. I probably don't want it sitting at the back here. He is going to capture. Now, we could capture here with our bishop and have quite a good tempo. So this is going to move the king. Now we can castle here. Surprisingly, we are quite safe. So we're going to castle. Our bishop is a lovely bishop here that hasn't come out yet, so we can't wait to get that there. Now obviously this knight has two reasons why he's done this. Obviously blocks the bishop, so he's going to move it next move. Most likely either here or here. Now I don't know which one yet, most likely this one. So we can try and cause problems there. Now if he does that, we can play a pin. So we are just going to get the bishop out for now. I would say we get it out here just to stop any annoying threats. And if he does play this move here, we can just go back and it ruins that. That's fine, because even if he captures here, our queen captures back, and I don't think we're in too much trouble. We could try and push. I don't think that's going to work, but I think the main thing is this knight move soon. I think we need to protect this. I think we should go and protect this pawn, and then we can bring our knight in to even look at this fork. And maybe even there could be smothered mate soon, which hopefully I would love to show, but it's very unlikely. So, just got to wait and see what they play here. We're a little bit about a minute below on time, but we've thought better. I think we're in a much better position. They've got some bad pieces here. The only good piece I'd say this knight is very good, although we've been able to work around it. I'm expecting some sort of capture here, but I think he needs to try and get another piece other than the bishop, so like this, to try and protect this square on my queen. I think that's what he's trying to figure out, but I think we can just about try and beat them to that. So they're going to do this now. We can still bring our knight here, and it actually looks at this fork as well, but this fork would be a lot nicer as well. We'll see. I think we should play this now. So this gives us many things as well. It's now an outpost because no pawns can capture it. Now, this is a very weird position. So he's allowing a fork, but he's willing to give us 2 pieces. Because if we give a check here, for example, I would say we'd probably actually give this check because it's a bit more forcing. But although actually, if we play here, we might be able to get our bishop straight away actually over here or something like that. Or do we just move our bishop out of the way? The only issue is I'm a little bit wary about that move. So if we go here, this initiates the swap off immediately. He would then capture, and we could play the move queen to here, which does look very nice. So I think we're going to play that. Now we can actually play, if he captures here, we have actually got check here first, but he can block with his rook technically. It just depends what we want, because if we play the check, we could do something here with that, but I still think maybe, no, I think check first. If he brings the knight back, we obviously just capture. I'm expecting the rook to block, because then it's still the 2 pieces for the rook. Yep, as I expected. We're just going to capture. We need to use this time now to we need to really start making some moves. This is good. Now we're able to move the knight as well. It's probably going to come back here and put double pressure on here, which means we're just going to move this bishop. Most likely we can actually be a bit more attacking now and play here, which I think looks like a very valuable move. Now this bishop's becoming stronger, we can get rid of that threat immediately. And now it just comes to a case whether 2 knights are better than a rook. Now he's not going to capture here, he's going to put more pressure on it, and I think we're going to have to go here and put even more pressure on this. Don't really like how we're getting so many pieces involved on this one thing, but we have many reasons behind it. If this queen moves again for some odd reason, giving away a pawn, I see. So after capture, we just capture back. I will immediately take this. We're having to play a little bit quicker just because we thought so long about the positions before. So we're just going to capture here. He can't bring the bishop here because we've got our rook blocking it, and also we would just be able to capture this knight anyway. He's now going to play this. So we have a few ideas, especially could soon get this. So we need to think probably the rook here. Now the reason for this is we can play a pin. He's going to block us though, sadly, but we can still play our queen coming in maybe. We're going to do that. Now there is a check here, we've given away a pawn, but when we move back that gives our king, our queen is in very good position then. There's a few other ideas though, that might have been a mistake. Do we bring the queen back though? Because if we move here, their rook comes in, and this might be trouble. This might be a slight bit of trouble for us. So I think we're actually going to block with our queen now. Now, not looking good at the minute here. We was, I think, in a better position, but we may have made the wrong choices here, sorry. And now we are a point down, technically, because I think the 2 pieces are worth 6 against our rook, which is 5. But we have the same amount of pawns, so it's just whether we might be able to get the luck of the draw against these 2. So again, the king can't push up here, for example, because of the skewer, or not skewer, fork actually, sorry, I should say. Now we could still play that here, actually. And I will play that. Just got to be careful about this bishop, because it can always give us some sort of fork or, attack there. We don't want that happening. So we could go even more attacking here, but I say we won't. I say we could probably double up. Doubling rook's going to be the best. Now again, if it tries to attack something, we have a check. It's now going to move here. We've got to be careful with the pawns. We've also got to slowly stop worrying about our time now. So, I'm going to push this pawn here. It's probably going to attack there. We're not looking that good right now. We might even have to get rid of this rook here. We're going to have to pre-move now. Just try and win back our time that we have slowly lost here. We thought a little bit maybe too long. And I think we've paid a bit of a consequence here. So if we do lose this game, luckily we do not fall behind 1600 just yet. But he's going to move the rook back. So this gives us, I think, an idea to push now. He will probably go here. We can come down here now. Okay. Now, we need to start creating an attack of our own. So I'm going to say we just push the pawn for now. Maybe get king out of the way, for example. I don't really like this outpost, but at the same time that gives us an exchange, which we might have to take. Now, I say we just attack the knight here. Nothing I can do there. If he brings the knight here, we can't play this because there is an actual fork that we can't take as they capture back. So that's a bit of trouble, but if he goes here, we might be able to play that anyway. Just coming back, but it's risky. This pawn is loose as well soon, so we might actually go back soon, I don't know. So it's now going to go into that square as I said before. It's a little bit trouble-like, but I think we might just about be able to contend with it. Just got to be careful, we've got to keep this rook here now at all times. So he's going to move there. Now we are going to give a check here. Hopefully I cannot go there because this is checkmate. And if it goes up here, there is many risks now, as we are going to play our rook across here now. We can't play rook up here because there is check, and then wherever we go there is mate. So we've just got to be careful and see when they've moved the rooks that we use this at the right time. Now I say what we're going to do is kind of pre-do this almost. So we're going to move the king here now, so that now we can play this rook move here. And now slowly we might be on the back. We might be back here, as this pawn could be lost for some reason. He's going to give a check now. Is this just going to be a draw? Because we're going to go back here now. And it's not actually, because there is now no more checks, and we're attacking the knight now, and he's going to fall back. So we have now won this knight, and now slowly we are trying to get back here. We've just got to be careful of all the checks. There's a check here, there's a check here. We might have to try and escape as quick as we can. This pawn might soon be going, and we've just got to worry about this because there is a few little tricks he might do. We can come back as well from this check, but it's risky with this over our heads. They are now going to move this rook here. We could try and do a sacrifice, but I don't think we can. We're going to have to just going to move the rook one square. No worry about that. Little bit scary now. Now he's going to look at some checks here, I think. So just got to be on a bit more of a little bit more preserved. There is not a mating threat here, so we're able to escape. And if they do a check here, we can just move back here. And then a check, we just go up. He might win this pawn though, but we're going to win 2 pawns for it. And slowly, we have now started gaining time back as well. So time is now on our, now coming back to our side. So hopefully, we're doing well. We're going to give a check now. I'm expecting another check of some sort. We just move forward, because that is actually our only square. He might capture here, but then we have a very nice capture there. Actually, if they do a check, okay, they're doing this check here, yep. So we have to go here. A check here, we go now up. And then there is no more, well, there's one more check, and then we can go up here, and then there is no, ooh, it's a trade, we're fine. Okay, so he's going to capture, so we're going to immediately capture back. We're not going to take any risks here. We might have to sacrifice a pawn here, or we're trading pawns now. So we just got to be careful that we don't screw this pawn up. But I don't think we will. Now we're going to just capture this pawn. Now we have always got an idea of sacrificing here soon for maybe a pawn, for example. but maybe at this top point is not the right ideas. I think they might look at this idea, but we will play probably check first or some sort. I don't think that'd actually be a very valuable move. I think we now move our king up. If he gives another check, we just play here. The only issue is we're moving further away from this pawn, but there's no other way we could do it, so I'm not really against that. Now we're going to attack here. Now there is no more checks, and now after this we're just going to move our rook down and hopefully bring this rook across again. So it's going to attack the pawn now, so we're going to actually have to defend this pawn. This does block the rook in as well now. This rook is completely trapped now as well. Now we're just going to use our own piece here, and now we've just got to be careful. We're going to have to probably give up something soon. Now I'm going to say actually we are going to have to give up that pawn probably around now because of this thingy going on. Let's have a little think. We have some time on our hands now. So I think we are going to have to just play the rook down. After this check we might have to go here. It's not looking very good. Although he's going to play a move here. Now we can play what's called an in-between move. Instead of watching this attack, we could give check. But after that, I think that would give not a very good move. Now, I say that we should probably... This is not looking at all good for us here. And I don't really know where we should go now. We're kind of in a bit of a predicament. So we're going to just go all the way across probably now. After this push, we're going to have to try some sort of kind we can get. You know, we've got a check here. You know, after this pushes, we might be able to get some sort of thing here. I'm not too sure just yet what we can do. It's not looking that good for us, but we can't give up yet. So we're just going to try and attack this pawn now. We might have to sacrifice some stuff up here. Maybe try and get this pawn pushed while this is trying to push here. We might just give up a rook for this pawn, which isn't too bad actually. It looks like we might lose because of that, but we might be able to get this pawn pushed, I don't know, somehow. You know, he can't just really push. I think that would be a mistake because, you know, especially with us in the time trouble, he's now just going to push actually. Wow, so he's now, we're going to do the same thing actually. So he's going to give a check and we're just going to have to move the king. But very surprised that he's kind of going off the board there. We're just going to keep pushing because after he comes there we can move the king here. So I'm a bit surprised why he's trying to change the way we're trying to go now. And now, has he just given a mistake now? Because this check only gives him one move, and I think this is an absolute blunder, as this check forces the bishop to come in. And now we are actually going to have, I think it is checkmate in 4. So with this bishop sacrificing itself, we have now actually just about, many mistakes somehow we've escaped from. And just like that, I believe, if my calculations are correct, after we capture here, it has to go down. We capture, we check. Maybe not, it's not checkmate just yet, but I think we're a whole rook up now. We've definitely, and we're going to win this pawn. So I think we're going to have much better advantage here. If it goes up now, it is checkmate, but it obviously won't, and we can actually win their rook here because we've just got to play check and then play here. Nice little sacrifice just to really boil it over. So it has to capture, and we now capture them, and this is now 1. As we are a minute ahead in time, we've done well here. Just going to attack their pawns. And now we have won. That was a very close game. I made many mistakes, but we was just about able to get back with it. So we're going to have a little look at the old game review, and there'll be a very 74%. I was able to make 7 great moves in the end. So just having a little look at some of these moves. Just going through the opening was fine. Maybe the queen move wasn't the best. They say that was a mistake. That's what gave us this advantage. We were about a point up. We did that protection. Now this was the first great move. And it was a miss. They did prefer this check. So after now they get a great move. They didn't like this, as this was also a miss. We should have actually pushed, I think, because they want us soon to like get our queen involved or our rook. That would make more sense. Okay, so we're really on the back end. 3 points down, they're saying, but this move puts us back even because of this rook move. And after a few captures, now this was a blunder, and I think, yes, because of the pawn, so we did make that mistake, and we are down in this endgame. But slowly, we're able to just try and even it out. Now this put us dead even again. So this was the blunder, and this was actually a forced mate in 5 that we've missed. Now my guess, I actually don't know where it is. I'm trying to see where it is, but I don't think it is this, but it is. I'm trying to just figure out, is it... Ah, it's rook, so they can't stop this. Okay. So they play h4, which is a miss, and we play a blunder. Now, where was the blunder? So after this rook check, what happens here? Is it not just the bishop? Why is this a blunder? Apparently, oh, is it because of check? And I think they just completely destroy the pawns. Okay. Yep, they destroy all our pawns then. But I think it's just a bit too late for them now because they've done it at the wrong time. Now it's a dead even game in this scenario. That was a mistake. This was a blunder. They should have gone across earlier. I do understand now. And here, all the mistakes they made there, and this was the big mistake which I was able to see in the end. Just able to get that check, which we now are able to do this, which we now win that. So another long video again today. Sorry that the time was just very long, but hopefully you enjoyed that. A little bit close game. So thank you and bye bye.